to Discovery, and the shuttle has cleared the tower. Discovery's 4 computers now have primary control of critical vehicle functions.
Alright, what's going on, people? Welcome back to the live stream. Hope you guys are doing well. Jumping on a different day than normal today. So hopefully we get some new faces who are able to join the stream today. You know, we're going to break down the markets, do a kind of Sunday market breakdown, kind of recap the week, recap any, you know, missed opportunities, trades we could have taken, the trades we did take, and everything like that. So I thought it would be good to jump in. If you guys do enjoy the Sunday session as well, we will do more of them moving forward. So let's see. Hello, Aaron, sir, Mark, what up, man? What up, what up? Happy Sunday, people. You know, we're going to run over the fundamentals as well, see how the week's looking, and be in for a good Sunday sesh. I just let a few more people join in. I'm going to let the Zoom guys join in as well. I'm hosting this on Zoom too, so I'll let them in a second. Let me just close Discord. All right. We've got 19 people joining in, guys. Remember, share the link with everyone you know, every single person you know. Share the link with your friends, family, dog, cat, absolutely everyone's going to be sharing some value on this stream this morning, on this evening, I should say. For you guys in Australia, for you guys who are, where's my clock? For you guys who are elsewhere, 12 p.m. in London, almost 7 a.m. in New York. So we should be hitting a few New York people as well. Christmas, you're a legend. Thank you, man. Thank you. And I haven't even jumped over the markets since the close on Friday. So, you know, I'm going to be jumping on it fresh with you guys. I'm going to be deleting all my levels, and we'll do everything from scratch. And I'll kind of give you guys a game plan for the week ahead, see what we got going on for gold. And if you guys want to jump over any other pairs, then of course we will do that as well. And we'll also make this into, you know, a sort of Q&A session. So if you guys have any other questions to do with, you know, trading, travel, full-time trading, life, psychology, anything like that, we're going to make this more of an interactive session. And, you know, we'll sit down and do this every Sunday. If you guys enjoy it and if you guys want to see it, obviously, you know, next week we will be live again every Tuesday to Friday. Live day trading gold futures. Let me just get the link up here. 2 seconds. Hey, mate, how are you? Hope you had a good weekend. Hey, man, how's it going? I'm good, thank you, man. I'm good. Good to have you back on the stream. My weekend was good, thank you, man. Very chilled. Just had a what did I do this weekend? I had a very chill weekend, man. I just had a chill weekend. Had a nice barbecue today. We bought barbecue today, so we just had a little barbecue in the garden. It was very nice. But other than that, man, yeah, chill, man, chill. Just working out, relaxing. You know, I usually do like some weekend prep anyway, and I hadn't done it yet this week, so I was like, you know what, let's do it together. I'll be able to give you guys a good game plan of what's going on. Just having a quick look at the fundamentals as well. Garth, what up, man? What up, Garth? If you're in the Zoom waiting room, I'm going to let you guys in a second. There we go. All right, let me let the Zoom guys in. How many people got in here? 22 people. All right, what time is it? 9 p.m. Cool. Let me just make sure I'm on the right mic. Oh, wrong one. I'm on the right speaker. Yeah, cool. All right. Let me just move this out of the way. Hit the like button. Yeah, guys, go smash that like button as well. Start breaking down the charts in 2 seconds. Kane, what's going on, man? Hope you're doing well. How many people got on here? Let me just see if anyone else is going to join the Zoom before we get started. Let me just double check Discord quickly. All right, let me share the news for the week. I'm not on the wrong screen. Let's do it from scratch to see what's really going on here. Let me get the same link up. I'll show it to you guys on Zoom as well. Hope you guys can see the right screen. All let's have a look what's going on here. Oh yeah, we've got pound bank holiday tomorrow. So you've got GBP bank holiday. We've got high impact US news on Tuesday, Wednesday. Well, that's basically Tuesday for my time. Let me put this to London time just so you guys know what I'm talking about here. Most people are probably working off London time. There we go, London safe settings. Only because when I do it on Brisbane time, it goes into the other day and it's quite confusing, even for me sometimes. So where is, on this chart, London, there we go. So, all right, yeah, take a look. So we've got pound bank holiday tomorrow. Big USD news tomorrow. All day, actually. Got some very, very big USD news tomorrow, which is good. We've got Australian dollar CPI on Wednesday, which again is going to be very, very volatile. So we got some big news this week, and this week is the last week of August. So if you guys have had a quiet-ish week in August, well, this is finally the last week of the month, and we've actually got some good news coming out. So we actually could have a good amount of volume, which is great. So we got US ADP non-farm employment. Have we got NFP this week? Oh, it's NFP this week. Yes, the first. Oh, damn, yes. Okay, so we've got NFP this week as well. So that's going to be interesting. You got unemployment claims on Thursday. So all in all, we are looking to have a pretty busy week. Are we doing a forex breakdown? Yes, we are, man. Well, I'm going to do a breakdown of gold. If you guys want me to run over any other things, we will do that as well. That's cool. Sometimes nice weather. Yeah, it's good, man. It's good. Very nice. Great work. You're doing great for newbies from South Africa. Awesome. Yeah, so in terms of fundamentals, we have a pretty busy week, which is great. You know, it means you're going to have a decent amount of volume. And yeah, it's actually the end of the month on Friday. So on Friday, we're going to have NFP, which is going to be very, very big for the US dollar. YouTube guys, we've got 23 people tuning in. 9 likes. Guys, drop a little like to the stream. We're going to start breaking down the charts now. Let's have a look what's going on here. We've got Mark joining. All right, I'll let Mark join in, and then we'll start breaking down the charts. All right, we're in. Let me get this over here. What up? What up?
What up? What up?
How's it going, man?
Good, man. Good.
All right, let's do it. So I'm gonna start. I'll break down gold on the high time frame. We'll start on the weekly. And I'm just going to clean up all these levels because I'm just going to start from scratch. I'm not, like I said, I've not looked at the charts since, you know, London on Friday or very late, or very early into the US session. So looks like we grabbed liquidity points very well, but let's just start from scratch here. Let me clean up all of these levels. We're going to do absolutely everything again. Let's get rid of this, let's get rid of this, let's get rid of this. So because we are how many trading days? We're about 4 trading days away from this monthly close. We can now kind of start to look at the monthly, and this monthly close on gold is going to be very, very key because it's going to be interesting to see if we're going to respect this level here around, like, where's 1900? So you got 1900. Let's do our round levels. 1900, and let's put on our next level, 1950. So this monthly, you know, if we hold above 1900, you know, you never know, you may see gold push back up into like 1950 in September. You know, every time gold is broken above this level, you know, you retest and have a pretty big drive. So we've broken above it, you know, we hovered, but when we had that strong push up back in July, we hadn't actually liquidated any of these lows. So now that gold has liquidated the past few months' lows, that could be enough for this to push up all the way back up into the highs. Let me just get rid of this. So this monthly close, yeah, it's going to be interesting. You know, if we do all of a sudden, you know, unemployment claims will come out, whatever, you know, gold closes back below 1900, then the next level on gold is going to be 1850 for a more of a longer term swing. But to me on this monthly, you know, anytime gold taps into this level, it's not just a one tap and you know, you just kind of break it. It's going to reject it. It's probably going to push up, and then you're going to see a break higher. Like, look at this. Look at the amount of times that 1900 has been rejected or on the monthly time frame. So here you've got this big rejection. You've got the fake out there, break above, retest, break below, retest, you know, fake out. So you never know, you may even get another fake out of 1900. But how we close around here in the next couple of days is going to be very, very interesting. Now let me just put these key levels to the high time frame. I don't want to see these on the daily, the hourly, or the minutes. Same as this one here. I don't want to see it on daily, hourly, or minutes. And then same again here. So this weekly, now I was actually watching this week to see if gold was going to come up, grab the previous weekly high, and then potentially have a rollover. But we've actually, you know, still closed bullish and reclosed back above 1900. So now pretty much coming into this week, as long as gold trades above 1900, you know, early on in the week, you're going to get the false move. And if that false move is initially down, you know, you could see gold come back down, retest 1900, confirm this fake out, and then you could see a drive, probably not this week, but, you know, in the next coming weeks, all the way back up into 1950. The other interesting thing about gold is before this kind of, you know, drop down here, none of these highs really got grabbed. So to me, you know, in the next coming weeks, these are all going to be pretty interesting. Did we actually just leave a double bomb there, or did we grab that previous week? Yeah, so you just wicked out. You wicked out the previous week. Now you've had that push up. So you've grabbed the liquidity to the lows. So if you re-break that low, then you're going to see the pushback low. But as long as that low gets respected, the next higher time frame play on gold is going to be potentially longs, you know, back up into 1950. You know, this is going to be a key level first as well, around, you know, 1935. So that's how it's looking on the weekly. If we go down to the daily on gold, let's have a look, see how the daily closed on Friday. Yeah, so you had a pretty nice close there on Friday. So interesting thing about Friday is, this is what we had said, is this here was this very key level of, you know, where when gold breaks below this and retest, you typically see it drive down. However, we actually closed back above. So as long as gold trades above this level, it comes back down. It's liquidated the previous daily low of Thursday and now has closed back above it. So this could have been a, you know, a nice 3-pin pattern, nice evening start for this to be a reversal to continue pushing lower. But the way that Friday candles closed is reclosed back above, and I think you could start to see this potentially drive higher. You know, you may see it wick down one more time, and then you'll kind of, you know, do that morning star formation. You have that initial wick, liquidity wick, and then the third one will respect the previous, and then you could be looking for that to have that drive up. But the way that we've closed back above that level of support, call it, what have I got this level as? Let's call it just 1904. Let's have a look at that. 1904. You got resistance, broke, resistance, support, body sitting on it there perfectly. Break above, support. So anytime, you know, you get that closure above here, you see what, almost a 400 pip drive from up into here. You know, you saw that huge drive. You've broken back above it again. So is this going to be the potential drive to have another big swing back up? It's looking pretty possible. So daily candle on gold on Friday is very, very interesting. Now, where's kind of going to be, you know, if you do get involved in some longs, well, plan of action is, you know, Monday and Tuesday are typically like the false moves of the week. And then as Wednesday kicks in, that's when things can usually turn around. So if we have a quick look at the fundamentals. So Monday's a bank holiday, so it's probably just going to correct down pretty slow. Tuesday, you know, you've got some high impact news. And then on Wednesday, that's when we start talking about NFP claims. So ideally, you would want to see this creep down, you know, Monday to Tuesday. And then towards the end of the week, you'd want to start to see gold potentially have a turnaround. Now, if you do get involved in some longs with gold, I think this level up here is going to be the first level of interest. You know, so you bounce off this support, you come back up, you retest these highs, and this range from here to here is like almost 300 pips. So it's a huge level, huge level. So you've already come back down. You've already wicked up almost 115 pips. If this can come back down to these levels, you've still got, you know, way over 200 all the way back up into this resistance. So any longs on gold, this level here, is going to be the daily resistance and a level where gold could potentially struggle around. So you have daily resistance there. Let me just make that a little bit bigger actually. We'll put that up there. You know, if you do get closures above there, then again, you know, you could see this push on gold come up even higher. Exactly the same as that. Look, last time you pushed up, it absolutely just shot through massively. So, oh, do we have any? Oh no, I was about to say, look, that almost looked like we had some nice liquidity up there. Look at that. That double top gets grabbed, push back lower. Could see an early drive down in Monday in Asia. Then gives, yeah, hopefully, man, hopefully. That's what I want to see. That false move. So you could have that. So we want the daily, you know, the daily wicks to be like this. That's Thursday. Friday's wick was that before trying to flip bullish. So you want to see, you know, something like this on Monday, and then Tuesday you keep looking for that push. So if you go down to 4 hour, you probably start to see, you know, a potential head and shoulders shaping up. And you finally had that, not that trade trend lines, but you finally had that huge big trend line breakout there. And I think if this was going to be a fake out of this trend line, then, you know, you're still going to probably see this high is going to be a level of interest. You know, if you're going to see, because overall, obviously, gold's still very bearish. You know, on the 4 hour time frame, this could just be a pullback. You know, you could correct up and liquidate this previous high, and then potentially see that push back lower. So how we react around this level is also going to be interesting to see that Monday and Tuesday close, and then more importantly, see how that news is going to come out, because that's going to be the real decider here. Sorry, man, I was on the wrong screen. There you go, YouTube guys. I've just shared the screen. My bad. So that's for you YouTube guys. These are the potential. I'm actually going to mark on this high as well. These are all of these highs up here are going to be levels that if these get grabbed before that big news, these could be potentially liquidity points to see gold either drive lower or continue pushing up. You know, if you're going to have another big rollover on gold, if we just go back let's go onto the daily, let's take on a big fib, you know, just to see what other possibilities there are if you're going to have a pushback lower. So you kind of see, you know, at that previous high there, it's also a little double top. You got that 61.8% sitting above there. So, you know, you react to price once it gets up into there. But if you get up into them regions and the daily fails to close above this resistance, that could be a very interesting level where you never know. You may see that start to push all the way back down. Where's 1950? So 1950 is oh, there you go. So 1950 is right at that liquidity point that I'm talking about. So if we put on our, this is the level we were talking about on the weekly. So all of a sudden we've got a few confluences now. So this is the weekly resistance, and you've also got a daily double top there. So whenever you see a daily double top, that's a level where price could tap into before a potential pushback lower. Let me just refresh the YouTube stream. Let me just refresh this here. You guys can see my screen now? Yeah, cool. So daily, you know, these two levels here are going to be very make or break levels. If I do get in longs on gold this week, which I hope is looking like we're going to get a nice position, this high here and this high here are going to be potential levels where we could liquidate before pushing back down. You know, if we do grab these highs, amazing. We've already got longs from here. Because remember, like, thing is with gold, and you know, with any instrument that you are trading, you know, a break of a trend line doesn't mean a break of a trend. So you've broken this trend line here, but you know, the overall overall trend is still very bearish on gold. So gold could easily, you know, swing all the way back up to like these levels and respect this previous high and these highs up here, and you'd still technically be in a big swing downtrend. So remember that a break of a trend line doesn't always mean a break of a trend. But the best way to approach that is to hedge yourself. You know, don't wait for price to come up into these regions and then jump in shorts. Anchor yourself. So be taking longs up into these regions, and if you just keep pushing up, well, amazing, you've got longs. But if you push up and then you get some shorts, amazing. If the shorts don't work when you've already got longs, so you don't even give a shit. But that has a nice double top there, actually. I kind of like that there. So let me get rid of this. So that's the daily double top. You got that 4-hour resistance there, which is, you know, as soon as you see gold come up into here, you're going to see it like respect it as resistance. Then you could see that liquidity grab before, you know, maybe something like that. Let's just put on these 4-hour levels that, you know, you've broken above. So you've broken above this. Let me just bring this to like here's a pretty nice level. So you've got support, fake out, support, support broken, resistance broken, support. You've tested that pretty nicely. You know, this is that 4-hour close on Friday is so important because that close back above this support is given that daily bottom wick. So as long as you have that daily bottom wick, you know, you may get a quick little retest, create this sort of left shoulder, head, right shoulder before then, you know, seeing that drive back up into there. I think that looks like a pretty nice setup to me. And then that high would also be a high of interest, you know, from down into here, what, 100 pips up into here, 180, and all the way back up into like 350. So you got some pretty nice levels on gold this week. I think you're gonna have a pretty solid week on gold, and you're gonna see some nice drives. You know, you finally had that breakout. Gold was stuck in this range for like almost a week, I believe. You know, from there Monday the 14th to, you know, Wednesday the 23rd last week, you've actually finally seen a nice breakout. So that's the plan of action. Let me just go down to the hourly. I don't want to dive too much into the intraday because we'll probably save that for stream on Monday. But if we take a look here on gold, look at the way, you know, this hourly's crept up. A lot of retail traders will be seeing this push down and this retracement on gold as an opportunity to try and do something like this. You know, retail traders will probably try and short this retest, you know, looking for this huge play back down. But this is why high time frame analysis is so much more important than intraday. Because this creep up, if you're just watching this on the hourly, you're not understanding that this on the daily is a huge bottom wick. So the fact that the gold has closed back above here late into the close on Friday has given you that bottom wick to potentially see this push higher. So there's a very, very key thing to note. Don't get too zoomed in onto the hourly, because the hourly, to me here, you know, you could argue this is an aggressive push back down, a retracement to continue pushing lower. But then you go look at that on the daily, it's nothing but a massive wick. So if you start shorting there, then you go look at the daily, you're like, oh shit. So the hourly, let's have a look here. What's going on in the hourly? So the hourly's creeping back up, yeah, broken back above. You know, you're probably going to see, ideally, you know, you'd want to open the week. Let me just get rid of this. I don't care. That's the low we're watching as a liquidity point. And also something very interesting here is before gold had this big push down here, you never came to liquidate any highs. So to me on gold, there's also going to be a lot of liquidity sitting above here. So, you know, from an intraday perspective, early on Monday, you get that push back down. In London or probably US, you got to be careful. You're not going to get much volume in London with the bank holiday. But in the US session, from down at these regions, these previous highs, if you can see that push up into there, man, that's a 120 pip push. That's a very, very nice push. So something to watch. You know, I'll be watching, yeah, probably around, well, this is, both of these levels are going to be a level where you have to be open to longs. Probably here. These highs here look interesting to me. And this, oh shit, I just put that wrong. I don't want to give too much on the intraday, but this this low here looks to me like this is going to be a level of liquidity. So you could see something like that on gold. Let me share that in for the guys who couldn't make the zoom. Because this is if you get longs from down there, let me just see how much is this from, you know, back up into them highs. It's a very nice move. It's a very, very nice move. YouTube guys, Zoom guys, if you have any other pairs you want me to run over, feel free to let me know. This main session is going to be looking at gold. I'm going to have a look at NASDAQ in a second as well. But that's going to be the main kind of, you know, overall analysis on gold right now. You see pullbacks early on in the week, correct down into these levels at any point, you know, you could see longs back up into these highs. And then, you know, if you get some good closures, you could just see gold just straight back. Oh shit, let me do that again. I hate when that tool does that. You could see longs back up into that next high. And again, the more you start teasing around these highs pre-NFP and pre-big news, that's when things get interesting. You know, the technicals are always in line before the fundamentals come in. So this high here and this high here is going to be very interesting, God. I'm just going to copy this and save it for the Discord, guys. Let me S&P and DXY. Yeah, we'll have a look now. We'll have a look. We will have a look. YouTube guys, drop a little like for the stream. I'll feel free to ask over any questions as well. Right, let's have a look at the close on NASDAQ. Ooh, look at that. That's huge on NASDAQ. Look at that. Oh, wow, that is massive. So, NASDAQ looks to me like... Where's all the fucking tools going here? You guys already probably know what I'm trying to draw here. That's a pathetic drawing. That'll do. This to me on NASDAQ looks like a potential reversal sign. You got an overall swing head and shoulders there. And then if you guys can see, you've actually got another one here on the intraday perspective here. The left shoulder, head, now come back up for the right shoulder. This is the neckline. If you see NASDAQ re-break this neckline, the next level on NAS is going to be, fucking hell, that's the absolute pathetic drawing, is going to be all the way back down here. All the way back down there. NASDAQ can re-flip back bearish here and re-break below, what's this key level I've got here? Let me just round this up. Let's put it to the 30 and see how that looks. Yeah, if you can see NAS close below 14,700-ish. Yeah, let's put 700. 700 nicer. Let me put this on there. See closures back below there on NAS. You know, you're going to see a pretty big and clean drive, at least back down into like, you know, 14,000, 13,500. Because every time, you know, you've closed at least, you know, below here, you see that drive very, very quick. So how many ticks do you have there? Huge, absolute huge move. And you, look how many times we've respected that and pushed higher. So the fact that, let me just get rid of these drawings. Let me get rid of this. Let me get rid of this. Nas made a lower high, will continue to aim to make a lower low. Yeah, it's looking nice, looking likely, man. I think the nice thing about Nas is before you're going to see that potential pushback down, you know, you would have wanted to see the previous weekly high get grabbed, which we've now done. So, was it Thursday? I believe was the huge drop on Nas. Yeah, Thursday. Thursday was absolutely huge drop. So, Thursday was the drop that came up, grabbed the liquidity, and then on the weekly, you know, that gave us the closure. Closure back below this level. So you broke below this level, retested, and look at that. Every time you break below it, you retest, you see that big drive down. Even there, you know, you have that initial wick, which is kind of what we've got right now. Next week, you know, you may come up and, you know, retest the highs or respect it, and then from then, you can see a pretty steep drive down. And the drive downs, once you trade below this level, are pretty big. So I'll be watching not last week's low, but the previous week's low. On Monday the 14th of August. Let me just have a quick look at this monthly. Yeah, again, yeah. So this week's going to be key. Now, this week's the weekly looks slightly contradicting, because if this monthly, you know, closes back above this level, and you know we start to close back above here, then you're going to see the re-push back high because we've just come back down, re-grab the previous monthly low, which you would have wanted to see before a big push up, right? So every time you flip bullish, you know, you have that candle, you come back down, you re-grab the low, you have to push. So we hadn't done that for a while. So this monthly close is going to be very interesting. The only kind of way to assess where, you know, NAS is going to go for the rest of the week is kind of see how we open early up. So what I mean by that is if early on in the week you see NAS push down, then that could be the false move to reflip back bullish and then give you that pretty strong monthly close, and vice versa. If early on in the week, Monday, Tuesday, NFP unemployment claims, you see NAS pushing up, then as you get to the end of the week, that could then be the top wick where then you could then start to see that flip back bearish and come back down into some serious lows. So Monday and Tuesday are going to be very, very interesting because as it stands, the monthly is still very bullish. The weekly has closed bearish, wicked out previous highs. Hasn't flipped back bearish yet, but it's still got plenty of time to do that. If we have a look at the daily, I think Friday closed bullish. Yeah, so we had a pretty strong, strong daily close on Wednesday. Thursday broke bearish. You've had that push back up yesterday, so you're kind of creating some space in this range. But even if you just, I'm not going to be taking the huge play back down to there, but at least to come back down and retest. What's this level? What do we say? 14,700 is still going to be a very worthwhile play. So very, very interesting levels on NAS as well. Let's see if the ES grabbed the previous weekly high. Yeah, there you go. So the S&P didn't. Let me clean these levels up here. Let's get rid of these. And this is why that NASDAQ and S&P correlation is so key. So as you can see, NASDAQ came up and grabbed the previous weekly high, whereas the S&P didn't. The S&P held the previous weekly high. But the interesting thing about both of them is you haven't grabbed any, nor NAS or the S&P have grabbed this previous low. So, at a given, if you're going to get a potential push back up on the monthly, you're going to see that drive back down into these lows at least. And if you close below then you're going to see more downside. So shorting down into that previous weekly low, to me, looks pretty nice. So again, you've also grabbed the monthly low as well. But on the monthly time frame, this week's going to be huge. This week's kind of going to be the decider of where you see NAS go for potentially the rest of the year. That level right there, huge. Break above, retest. If this was on an intraday perspective, you'd be easily saying, let's take this higher. You've liquidated the previous low. You've retested into this level. You'd be looking for this to push higher. So very, very interesting. Very, very interesting levels. Because the NAS has already grabbed the previous week highs at the open. Ideally, if you're going to see this push bearish, you want to see this have that push up in Monday. And then coming into Tuesday, you want to see this start to create that top wick, and then you can see this push back down. You never know, you may see it come back down and retest, like, call it 4,200. Looks like a pretty nice level. Break above, retest, push higher, big resistance, fake out. So yeah, some big levels coming into this week. Like I say, I think this week's going to be the decider of where we go for the next year. Oh, if this, let me see this here. You got double top there. Is that high being? Oh, it's kind of being grabbed there actually. So yeah, that's the plan of action on gold. I'm not gonna do intraday perspective on NAS and S&P because that's gonna be dependent on how we go. My main focus is always gonna be gold, but we got some pretty nice levels on gold now as well. So if you guys on Zoom or YouTube have any other pairs, instruments, oil, whatever you guys want me to run over, let me know and we can have a look. Or if you have any questions, doesn't have to be about this analysis, just in trading in general, the plan, anything at all, you guys can ask me. It's going to be more of a Sunday market breakdown and kind of an interactive session. I'm just going to update Discord with the current levels on Goldie here. Let me see, trade setups. I'll post that in after this call. UK 100, yeah, Paul, we'll take a look. I haven't traded the FTSE in a while. I don't personally like trading it because it's so choppy, but we'll break it down. What is it on the futures? What is it, UK 100? Let's just do it here. UK 100, that'll do. Yeah, this is the reason I'm not a huge fan, because it's just always so fucking choppy, man. Dan, that's a secret that I can't give out on YouTube right now, but we will discuss it in our private Zoom tomorrow, or on in Discord, man. You have all the elements in there though, man. You have all the elements. Watch all the trade breakdowns as well. That'll be kind of the best place for you to get the biggest insight on our plan. But the main overall plan is, price action and liquidity grabs. So let's have a look at the FTSE. It's hard to analyze the FTSE because I don't really trade, so I don't really know how it moves. If this was anything else that I was looking at, to me, it's looking like you're going to see a spike down into this support. Like I say, I don't trade it, but I'm pretty sure it has the same liquidity grabs as everything else. So you'll probably see last week's high get. What the fuck is that? Don't do that. Let me just show this again. So you'll probably see a spike into last week's high, and then I think you're going to see a pretty nice spike down into these lows. And then once you spike out these lows, you're going to be tapping into this previous resistance support, and from these regions, you could then potentially see a push back up. It's difficult to say because it's always in a range. It's always just fucking ranging. But the ranges on the FTSE are pretty big, so you can actually trade it. But from an overall perspective, coming into this week, I think you'll probably see a spike up. Liquidate the previous weekly high, retap into these levels, and then you could see that drive to come and grab this liquidity. Before this push up, we never really grabbed any lows. And if you look back, every single time, we have had almost similar to what we're having right now here. You come all the way down, you wick out all of that support, and then you still have that big drive higher. So that's going to be pretty interesting. Like I say, I don't trade it, so I don't really know how it moves, but to me, it's looking like you're going to come and grab. So that's the previous weekly high right there. So you may see that weekly high get grabbed, and any daily closures back below this level here, you're going to probably see a nice drive. If you don't get the daily closure, then you may just keep pushing up. But I personally wait for that liquidity grab, wait for a daily closure back below this level, and you could see a quick top wick, and then you may see it drive back down into that support. I think that support's a pretty nice area. Hey man, can you take a look at EU? Yeah, we'll have a look, man. We'll have a look at the Euro futures, which is the exact same thing. Let's have a look. Assume it's gonna be fairly similar. Look at that. I shared this setup in Discord. Look at that lovely liquidity grab. Comes up, grabs the highs. Look at that, huge sell-off. Beautiful. Let's have a look. It's gonna be. I assume it's gonna be somewhat similar to gold. Let's have a look. Let me have a quick glance at the monthly. Now it's kind of pretty choppy on the monthly. Let's have a look at the weekly. Had that weekly close. Well, yeah, much more bearish than gold actually. So you've had. Let me just do some quick levels here on EU. Yeah, looks like a nice resistance. Kind of broken back below this level. You're kind of in a nice little range here. Interesting thing about EU is you haven't really grabbed any weekly highs. The last time you did was here. So you re-grabbed these highs, had that pushback lower. If you need to gain more liquidity, which you easily could see EU do, which is a very, very manipulated pair. I wouldn't be surprised. And again, this is the weekly, so it could take a few days to play out. I'll give you more of an intraday plan in a second, but you could see something like this. And then you could see a spike back down into here. The reason these lows are very interesting is because this push up here, this low never got grabbed. You see here before this push up, you wick out the lows, you push higher. These lows never got wicked out. So that could be a low where, you could see EU come and test. So if anything, I'd be looking for shorts back down into that low. On the dailies, have a look. So the daily, let's have a look here. We get rid of these levels. That high's been grabbed now. It's probably gonna take. It might take a while for you. It depends how NFP goes, but it may take a while for you to come up and grab that high. But the reason I'm talking about liquidating them highs is because it's the exact same thing that I was talking about when this happened here before this drop. You have that push down. You create some false resistance. Then you spike up. You grab all the stop hunts, all the liquidity, and then you have that drive back lower. You kind of had it there on the daily. You know, you had that daily push, re-grab the daily high, re-push back lower. But it's pretty choppy. Anywhere in this range is going to get pretty difficult. You've had a pretty strong push down on Thursday, and then on Friday you've gone into an instant doji candle because you're trading around this pretty key level here. We got probably let's line this up to 1.08 here. So you got this big resistance. You know, you get a lot of manipulation around here. Big resistance, support, break above, support, push higher. So I'd be watching around here, but if anything, you may see it drive back up into these levels, and then you'd have to see how NFP goes. If you close above, then you may see the push back up into here. Then that's when you could see something potentially like that. Yeah, I would see how NFP goes. But if I had to give a say, I think you'll see this creep back up on the weekly, and so that means early on in the week you'll see this push back up, and then you could see some highs grabbed around these regions. I'll be watching that high as a potential level, as a grab before then potentially pushing back lower. Let me just see this in chat. Let me see what trades did we take last week. I think we took like, what, 2 trades last week maybe? Let me see. US had all the moves last week. London didn't really do too much last week. US had all of the moves. I took a little scalp on Friday. I took a little $850 scalp on Friday. A very small position. Where is it? I think it's probably gone now. It's just a very, very quick in and out move. I sent it in Discord somewhere. Other than that, in terms of stream trades, what do we see? Why is my drive not loading? Journal. Let me have a look. Oh, let me put in this as well. Let me put in this poll here. Thanks, man. No worries, man. No worries. Start a poll. Let me see how everyone's August has been. I know a lot of people. A lot of people take a lot of losses in August, so I'm usually very patient in August. But August has been okay for me. It's been quieter, but still, it's still profitable, but it's definitely been quieter. It's always expected. I know a lot of retail trades kind of blow up in August. August. Let me just turn this off. Thanks, man. Thanks. Liking the Sunday market breakdown. Thank you, Paul, man. I'll probably do it every Sunday, something like that. I'll do a time when most people can kind of jump on. Today was pretty spontaneous, but yeah, I may make it a Sunday thing. It doesn't have to always be just about trading. It can always just be just a general Q&A. Just a catch up, see how everyone's week's been. Yeah, Dan, I got Ninja set up, man. I got Ninja set up on my PC. Ninja Trader is really clean, man. I'm liking Ninja Trader. It's super simple to set up. I had to buy a PC separate just to use it. So now I have my trading which you guys see, and then I have Ninja Trader on here as well. So Ninja Trader on the top step, and then a Ninja Trader on the personal as well. Can you explain how wicks help you analyze PA and plan your trades? I've noticed that you look for wicks before you put on a trade. Yeah, we'll take a look, man. Yeah, wicks are very, very important. Wicks and timings of candles very, very important. I won't share too much because I can't give away too much of the plan, but I'll share as much as I can. I won't go into timing of the candle, but I'll go into wicks. And the reason wicks are important. I linked mine today. Yeah, nice, Dan. Have a play around with it, man. Have a little play around, but it's honestly so simple. It's literally just set up like an ATM strategy or something like that, and then you literally just click buy and sell, and just to just to drag your orders. It's so simple, man. It's really, really key. You can have a play around the settings, and also remember to save your workspace so it saves whenever you do make some changes into like a new chart or something. Just save it as a workspace, and then it will just fire up every time. Now I'll explain why wicks are so important before taking a trade. I'll give an example of trying to go short. So let's just say, how do I say this? So the way that we trade is we trade based off liquidity. So let's just say, you know, price is doing something like this, and you know we're hovering around like this. It's going to be hard because I don't really know how to draw wicks on here. Let's just say, you know, we're looking to short gold. Just pretend these are candles. We're looking to short gold back down into this liquidity. Now, let's just say, how can I draw a wick on here? Let's just say price has just closed bullish, leaving. Oh, look at that, perfect. Look at that, beautiful. Look at that lovely candle. And let's just say price is doing something like this, you know, respecting that resistance. And the way that we trade is we trade liquidity. So if I'm looking to go short on gold around these regions, you know, every time gold prints a candle, or basically any instrument prints a candle, it always gives a top or a bottom wick. And the most interesting part for us is I want to see which is created first. So if I'm looking for shorts on gold around this region, say this is a bullish candle. Let me just make this blue. It doesn't matter. Say this is a bullish candle, and we're looking to short gold back down. And if I see price open like this, so basically what I'm trying to do here is, let me just, I'm trying to think of a way to explain this in the simplest of form without going into too much detail. Say this is the resistance. You know, this is a triple top all the way along here, and basically we're looking for price to do something like this. We're looking for price to come up, grab that liquidity before having that push back down. And the way that I want to do that is, say this is the 5 minute, 15, 30, it doesn't really matter, it's all the same shit. I'll say it's the 5. Now, say if, where's the tool gone? Here. Say if, you know, that 5 minutes just closed bullish, you've just started to respect that resistance. I would want to see price wick out these highs here before having that potential pushback down. So the way that I want to see that is, before gold is going to have a pushback down, I want to see us wick out these highs. So I want to see with the body instantly open and instantly push up with no bottom wick to the lows. Because if there's no bottom wick to the lows, then I know we need to create one. And if we're pushing up first, then I know that's the potential top wick to then reflip back bearish and give me that wick into the highs to then come back and create the wick to the lows, or re-break the low and have the entire push back down into the liquidity. So it's more so, it's the wicks, but it's also understanding how the body is forming early on. You know, so if I'm looking to go short off this liquidity grab, and this candle opens like this and instantly pushes down with no top wick, then I know that could then be the potential bottom wick to then reflip back bullish and then re-break the highs. And that's not really what I want to see. I want to, if I'm trying to go short, I want to see price create that top wick first. So very early on into the candle, whether it be the 15, the 5, the 30, it doesn't matter, but very on into the 5 minute. As soon as that previous 5 closes, I want to see price push up into these highs early on. And the thing is with gold is, gold can hover around these highs for, like, say this is the 5 minute, gold can hover around these highs, and then it literally, like, the last 30 seconds on gold, this thing can just completely flip bearish, and you can leave a huge top wick. You know, you then close below the previous low, you then, you know, you start to leave a little bottom wick, and then exactly the same thing again. You see that candle initially push up, create the top wick that retests these levels, and then flips back bearish, and then you basically have the exact same thing again. But it's understanding, you know, understanding when the wicks are being formed. And it's something like this. It's not something you can really backtest, because you have to watch it happening in real time. The only kind of way you can kind of backtest this is by doing it through simulation. because you have to be watching the timing of the candles. So it's exactly the same here. Let's find an example because my price action is pretty messy. So basically here, you know, if we just, I don't know if I can play this without it just jumping forward. Let me just see if I can play this. I haven't used this in so long. Let me just, what does that do? That doesn't really, it's not a good example because it's just, I'm trying to see how so let's just say for example, you know, we've seen gold break out of this region and we're trying to take this retest to see this push up. Well, before this is gonna have this push up, you know, but if it just instantly pushes up, then I won't take the trade. I want to see it push down early on into that 5 minute, because then I know that's gonna then be that wick. And then essentially as that wick's being created, I will put in like a buy stop like here. Excuse me, and my stop will go below the low. Because if this reflips bullish with no, and let's say it has no top wick, so if this reflips bullish, then that's going to be leaving that bottom wick to then reflip bullish and break the highs with some good volume. And the beauty of this is, you know, if this isn't a bottom wick and we just completely close back bearish and just re-break back and continue pushing down, then I just delete my buy stop and I don't get tagged into the trade. But pretty much here's the example. So as this bottom wick's being formed, so as this candle is looking like a pretty strong bearish candle in my head, yeah, I know, you know, we've broken above this level. We could be retesting the previous high. So then I can put in a buy order once that candle reflips back bullish. If it does, and it's going to tag me in with a nice position, I'm going to go straight into profit. So, you know, this would have hit like instant, you know, what, 74 ticks in literally 30 minutes. So yeah, March said, man's dropping nugs for YouTube fam. Hope they have Notepad. Yeah, too many. That's the thing. I don't want to go. I don't want to go into too much depth because I don't want to give everything away. But you guys can watch me trade it live. This is the same thing we do every single session. But there's a whole other aspect of it. You know, the liquidity grabs, the timing of the candles. Absolutely loads. You know, I could just look left and show you so many examples of when things like this happen. So like this, you push bearish. You know, you break the lows. You can say to yourself, cool. If you re-break this high, you're going to see that nice push. So yeah, many of different ways, but wicks and how the wicks are formed at what times is very important. Let me see if I can find an example on our journal. Let me see. See we got from July. Let's have a look. What was this one here? Yeah, that's a kind of example. So this is an example where price closed bearish and we created an instant top wick there into a liquidity double bottom, which we hadn't yet been grabbed. So I had a sell stop in and my stop loss was above wherever that high was going to be. So as soon as that candle flipped bearish, you know, created the top wick, tagged me in and had an instant, what? And then this position fucking ran as well. This into an instant 27 ticks. That was more of a retest entry. We still had the liquidity grabs. What was that trade? Yeah, so this is a lovely trade where it came back down to liquidate the previous 5 minute low, and this was an entry based off that candle creating that top wick, because this pushed down with an instant bearish candle with no wicks to high. So then I took the bearish buy for that candle to reflip back bullish, which is exactly what it did. It then came back down to retest, but I still held because it respected the previous low. Then yeah, ended up hitting full TP again. So lots of ways to approach it. It doesn't work as well on NASDAQ because NASDAQ creates highs and lows much more volatile. The kind of best I've seen this work is mainly gold. You can see it work on pound yen a lot as well. I don't trade pound yen anymore. Some of the guys still kind of, they do trade it similar on NASDAQ, I believe, but they just wait for the candles to be formed a little bit more, because it can create, on NASDAQ on the 5 minute, it can create top and bottom wicks, you know, multiple times in 1 5 minute. Whereas on gold, it doesn't really do that. So I mainly just trade it on gold. You know, when we're just trading on stream, I'm pretty much just We're just trading gold. We don't take anything else on stream anymore. I kind of find. Let's see. Candle closures are key. Yeah, Mark says a candle closures are key. Yeah, candle closures as a whole other aspect of it as well. Yeah, candle closures are very key. How we play, but in live market a bit more difficult. Yeah, so yeah, on NASDAQ it probably is more difficult because there's so much more volume, and it kind of, like I say, wicks out highs and lows much like in one 5-minute candle, whereas it's rare for gold. You know, if we're in this uptrend, and then it creates that bottom wick, it's very rare for gold to then come up, create a top wick, and then recreate a bottom wick, and then just kind of mess around. Whereas NASDAQ can actually do that a lot more. NASDAQ's like Mark said, NASDAQ is more important about waiting for actual closures. On 140k challenge, what price per pip would you feel comfortable with? Well, if you're in an FTMO challenge, I would just stick to 1 to 2% risk. That's it, really. All these trades here. All based off like 10 contracts trading gold futures. So, 150k account, max loss for July was like 1% here. 300 minus $300 minus $100 minus $400 minus $800 minus $1,300 plus 3.7 plus 1,000 plus 2,000, 2,500, 2,800. These are all stream trades as well. But yeah, I just stick to work out what it would be, but you need to know what your average stops and stuff like that. So I know what my average stop is. I know what contract size I'm going to use if I have a 10 tick stop loss. I know what size I'm going to have if I need to have a 20 tick stop loss. So I would just kind of work around. It's difficult with FTMO because, well, any fund accounts because the rules are stricter, but stick to 1 to 2% risk. If you're trading personal, obviously you can risk a little bit more. Excuse me, but for funded, yeah, I would stick to that, man. I would stick to that. Appreciate my explanation. Apologies if I asked too much. No, not at all, man. All good. That's what we're here for. We're here for a Q&A session, and as well as breaking down the markets. But yeah, I think we're in for a pretty good week this week. I'm keen for a good week. And you know what? We're coming into the last quarter of the year, I believe. Which is crazy to think it's almost fucking 2024. But winter months for me are probably my best times to trade out. I love trading the winter months. Usually we get the most volume. Summer months can be the most quiet. What's everyone's poll been? 41% of people profitable, 29% lost, 29% break even. That's good. That's good. 41% profitable. So more than average people are profitable in August. That's very good. Like I say, August can typically be the month where most retail traders give back all their profits, and then they spend the good months, the winter times, trying to catch up on everything. So yeah, good job, guys. Good job. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me, guys. That's the kind of plan. You know, if you guys did miss any of the trade breakdowns, I'll be re-uploading this recap to YouTube later on. And for you guys on Zoom, obviously London session live streams every single day next week. And for you guys on YouTube, we'll go live Wednesday and Friday for London, and then Tuesday and Thursday for the Asian session. Appreciate it, Mark. I'll talk to you guys soon. So Zoom guys, I'll see you guys for the London live stream tomorrow. Take it easy. See you guys. All right, YouTube fam, I'm gonna wrap up there. That's it for me. You know, I hope you guys did enjoy this Sunday market breakdown. If you guys did take value, remember drop a little like, subscribe. I'll be live on YouTube every Tuesday to Friday, live in the community every single day for the London sessions. So if you guys do want to join, you know where to go, know where to find me. But I hope you guys follow the game plan for the week ahead. You know, you're looking to have a pretty solid week in terms of volume, fundamentals. So have a good week, trade safe, be smart, and I hope to see you guys on the stream. Peace.